It's never been a better time to be a Revon customer. When you sign up or switch to Revon broadband internet, not only do you receive free installation, a free modem, and 3 months of service for free, you're also automatically entered to win up to $5,000 in prizes, like a 60-inch smart HD TV with Bose surround sound system and Rev TV Premium, Rev Voice home phone service, complete with a portable phone system, a laptop, and Revon Extreme broadband internet service. Already a Revon customer? No problem. You are also eligible to win a prize package as well. What are you waiting for? Call us to sign up or switch today.
Good evening, everyone. You're tuned into NB12. Coming up tonight in news, the Prime Minister returns to Bimini for a major groundbreaking. Cuban protesters up the ante in their campaign against the Bahamas. BEC's unions blindsided by government's plans for the corporation. Plus, police making progress in their probe of a teen girl's murder. I'm Vonnie Chute, and NB12 starts now. Talking news tonight, work has officially begun on the $150 million Phase 2 expansion of the Resorts World project over on Bimini. It's expected to create more than 100 construction jobs and an additional 350 permanent jobs. Jasmine Bonamy reports.
This phase includes a new 350-room luxury marina hotel. By the time it's complete, officials say it would have provided hundreds of jobs on that island. An agreement to finalize components of a detailed master plan for Bimini was also signed. Christie called this latest development for the project a step in the right direction for the Twin Islands.
What is so significant about this is that it boggles the imagination when one tries to understand how 350 rooms would be here in 3 months from today. And if you want to allow, give or take a few weeks, but to have actually a Christmas opening for a new 350 room expansion of Resorts World here in Bimini. In addition to which, the airport works that are being done will lead obviously to more air visitors, and therefore making this a complete destination.
Another part of Phase 2 would be the continued expansion of the South Bimini International Airport. The Genting Group will fund that expansion, which will include work on the runway that is being extended from 5,400 square feet to 6,000 square feet to accommodate large jets. Genting took over the former Bimini Bay Resort project earlier this year, rebranding it as Resorts World Bimini. Christie says he hopes the Bimini development will be a model for other family islands.
So for me, this is a wonderful opportunity to say yet again that the promise of being able to move the Bahamas forward and upward is now being fulfilled. We believe that this development will be a catalyst not just to further development on Bimini, and we see the indications, and, but also to the rest of the Bahamas.
Resorts World Bimini is expected to spend some $2.7 million on various island-wide developments, beginning with an island-wide cleanup and beautification initiative. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Bonamy.
In a move that has reportedly blindsided the Bahamas Electricity Corporation's line staff and managerial unions, government has effectively announced its intention to split BEC into 2 companies. Last night, Prime Minister Perry Christie revealed the launch of a process which would lead to the liberalization of the energy sector currently controlled for the most part by BEC. But it seems BEC's managers union isn't too happy with how that announcement was handled.
Our shock is concerning how you treat strategic stakeholders like the union.
President of the Bahamas Electrical and Utilities Managerial Union, Clinton Minnis, says they were left in the dark about government's big plans for BEC until about 3 hours before Christie's press statement was released last night. The Prime Minister announced that government will immediately be issuing new requests for proposal and that it intends to sign contracts with 2 companies by the end of the year. Its ultimate goal, he said, is to reduce energy costs for consumers. However, Minnis says more notice would have been nice.
The government came to office on a labor-friendly government. You don't treat friends by calling me into meeting 5 p.m. on Tuesday and telling me that the press will receive information to be released Wednesday morning. I think that is the disrespectful proposition that we have a concern with.
That's not their only concern. Prime Minister Christie said last night he does not expect job losses as a result of these changes, adding it would hopefully create more opportunities. However, Minnis says his members are very concerned about job security.
There were indications from the Deputy Prime Minister that job losses, for instance, employment is one of the number one concerns of the government. We appreciate that statement, but we need to see the follow through when the bids come in by the end of next month.
The selected private companies would offer power generation in the Bahamas and gain a management contract to take over transmission, distribution, and billing of customers. We understand government is aiming to have all proposals in by mid-September. Amendments to the Electricity Act could happen in February 2014. Minnis says while they support liberalization, it must be done right. He warned the union is prepared for a fight if government does not involve them in every step of this process.
We have seen the BTC experience, so we are not afraid of liberalization. We are in support of reducing the cost of electricity to consumers in the country. As a manager, that's what I do every day, cost-effective operation. But how you approach the union in making sure we help you with the process is another story. And so I am concerned whether the government's trust in going forward with communicating with the union and being honest and being a government of integrity will go through in the process. And if it doesn't, then both unions will have an understanding as to how do we approach the whole process of privatization.
Union leaders will meet with their members tomorrow to discuss the next step. Cuban protesters in Miami are preparing to intensify their anti-Bahamas campaign. They claim they're upping the ante after receiving information that Cuban migrants currently being held in the Bahamas will be sent to Cuba. In an urgent notice sent from the Democracy Movement this afternoon, President Ramon Sanchez says he's prepared to die for this cause. He says they received word the detainees would be sent to their home country within the next 24 hours. The group has been pushing for those detainees to be sent elsewhere. Last week, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell told NB12 he was advised the Cuban government has given the okay for some of those detainees to be repatriated. He added that they would be going back as soon as a flight could be arranged. Well, when we contacted him today, Mitchell said the Cuban government is processing additional repatriation requests. Sanchez claims 9 of the Cubans have received visas to travel to Panama, and the others are on a list to possibly receive visas from Honduras. Yesterday, Mitchell said the government of Panama has not formally communicated its intent to offer humanitarian asylum. 2 days after Free National Movement members of Parliament boycotted the House of Assembly's last sitting before summer break, their colleagues in the upper chamber decided to follow suit. F&M senators refused to set foot in the upper chamber today and have declared they will not return until opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis is back in the House. Christina McNeil reports.
Free National Movement senators boycotting the upper chamber this morning in a show of support for opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis, who was suspended from 2 sittings of the House of Assembly. 3 of the 4 F&M senators refused to enter the upper chambers.
Today cannot be business as usual for us as opposition senators.
Heather Hunt, Kwesi Thompson, and leader of opposition business in the Senate, Desmond Bannister, entered the building but never actually made it to their seats. John Bostwick was not present. During a news conference held in the minority room of the House of Assembly, Bannister said he advised leader of government business in the Senate, Allison Maynard Gibson, and the vice president that the opposition intended to make a communication this morning.
I was advised by the leader of government business that they would object to us making the communication. And so when they indicated that they would oppose the communication, we determined that we would simply meet with the media, let the country know the position that we take as senators.
Thompson claims Dr. Minnis was stripped of his parliamentary rights and privileges last week when House Speaker Dr. Kendall Major suspended him for 2 sittings after he refused to withdraw claims he made about Prime Minister Perry Christie. He feels that decision made a mockery of parliamentary democracy.
We submit and believe the entire event was contrary to the House rules and an affront to democracy, freedom, and liberty. We believe and submit that the position taken by the Honourable Speaker, and as a consequence, the procedure adopted by the majority, it was wrong, flawed, and an abuse of authority. The naming and suspension of a member of Parliament, in particular, the leader of opposition, should only be used in the most extreme and rarest of cases.
After much deliberation, Thompson, who is a former deputy speaker, says the opposition senators have decided to stand with the F&M leader.
We believe Bahamians will appreciate the stand that we take in defense of that democracy by not sitting in this place until such time as our leader has been able to resume his seat in Parliament.
Government Senator Frank Smith expressed disappointment over the stance taken by F&M senators.
We wish to register on behalf of the Bahamian people our disappointment and disgust at their behavior, because at the end of the day, they're here to serve the good of the Bahamian people through their participation.
The Senate was adjourned to August 28th. Reporting for NB12, I'm Christina McNeil.
Meantime, the House Speaker has rebutted claims from the opposition that he did not adhere to parliamentary procedure when he named and suspended Dr. Hubert Minnis for 2 consecutive House sittings last week. Montague MP Richard Lightbourne recently claimed Dr. Kendall Major did not follow parliamentary procedure when he suspended Minnis. However, Major claims Lightbourne is mistaken, asserting that rules were followed when Minnis was named, asked to stand, and suspended through motion. He added that the Speaker has the authority to ask a member to remove himself from the chamber if he violates certain rules of the House without naming. However, Lightbourne claimed that in order for a member to be suspended after being named in the House, the Speaker has to move a motion for members to vote on the suspension. He argued that Major only asked the members to vote on whether Minnis should be named before he suspended him. Still to come, police arrest 3 teen boys in connection with a 17-year-old girl's murder. The details of that story and more after this break.